Welcome to the Groove Course, lesson number 2. I'm Michael Gould. We Will Rock You by Queen. I'm going to play it first, and then we're going to break it down. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's break down the groove. The bass drum and the hi-hat play together on beats 1, the end of 1, beats 3, and the end of 3. So I'm going to play the bass drum only first, and then we'll add in the hi-hat. 1, 2, here's the bass drum. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 3 and. So it sounds like this. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. So just try playing the bass drum on your own. The bass drum and the hi-hat play together on beats 1, the end of 1, beats 3, and the end of 3. So let's try playing both these instruments together. I'll play it first, then we'll play again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now let's try playing it really slow together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you could practice playing beats 1, the end of 1, beats 3, and the end of 3 together. You can also try something a little more tricky. Play all the eighth notes together with your right foot and your right hand. Let's try that. 1, 2 and 3 and go, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. After you play that for a while, We Will Rock You will seem a little easier. Let's try putting in the snare drum on beats 2 and 4 with the bass drum, adding the hi-hat on the eighth notes. 1, 2, here we go. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, that's We Will Rock You by Queen. Have fun. Play That Funky Music by Wild Cherry. Play That Funky Music by Wild Cherry. Here's one possible groove you could play along with this tune. I'm going to play it first, and then we're going to break it down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's break this groove down. Let's focus on the bass drum and the snare drum. The snare drum comes in on 2 and 4, and the bass drum happens on 1, the end of 1, the end of 2, and beat 3. And you're saying to yourself, that's crazy, but you could do it. And I'm going to play it for you. Listen carefully, then make sure you practice it on your own. Listen for the bass drum. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Practice that on your own. Now let's add the snare drum on beats 2 and 4 with the bass drum. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3. 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. Now we're going to cross our right arm over our left like we've done for all the other grooves and play eighth notes on the hi-hat. Let's just put in the bass drum only. 1, 2, and 3, and go, and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, if that's difficult for you, let's try to slow it down. Notice how the first 2 eighth notes go right along with your right hand on the hi-hat. Let's try it really slow. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Together. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. If we take that same tempo, we can put our left hand on beats 2 and 4. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and play, and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2 and 3. Okay, great. Now let's just try to speed up the tempo just a little bit. 1, 2, 4 bars. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. Great. You might want to try playing a rim shot for this particular groove. A rim shot is when the middle of the stick hits the rim of the snare drum and the beat of the stick hits normally where it does center or off center of the drum. It looks like this. So you get a bigger, fatter sound when you play a rim shot. So if I play that funky music with rim shots, it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So try playing rim shots on their own and then try to add in the hi-hat. Sometimes you'll notice that your stick might come in the way of the hi-hat. So you're going to have to experiment where you play each instrument. But remember, just have fun. Hungry Heart by the Boss, Bruce Springsteen. I'm going to play the groove, and then we're going to break it down. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's break this groove down. The snare drum comes on beats 2 and 4, similar to the grooves we've already played. So let's focus all of our energy on the bass drum. The bass drum comes on beat 1, the end of 2, and the end of 4. I'm going to play it. You follow along. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4. So what you could do is try to count out loud, as I've explained in past grooves, and just play the bass drum. Let's try to play the bass drum with the hi-hat. the hi-hat's playing eighth notes in 4/4 time, so we can count it like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and let's try to put in that bass drum. We're going to try it really slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1. So you'll notice after beat 4, we play the bass drum on the end of 4 right along with the hi-hat. So you have to keep track of where you are in the quarter note pulse. Let's try to add the snare drum now on beat 2 and 4. So if we just play the hi-hat and the snare drum together, it's like old hat. We've already done it a few times. Let's just try that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And remember, you could try to play a rim shot if you want. So now, let's put in the bass drum. A little slower. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And. Okay, so try to play this on your own with a metronome or with the play-along track. Have a blast. Learn to Fly by the Foo Fighters. I'm going to play it first, and then we'll break it down. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's break it down by focusing on the bass drum and the snare drum. The bass drum plays on beat 1, the and of 2, and the and of 3. If I play this against 4 quarter notes, it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you could try playing the bass drum by yourself, or you can add in your left hand on the quarter note pulse. Try just starting with the bass drum and then add in your left hand later on. Let's add the snare drum on 2 and 4. I'll play it first, and then we'll play it together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try to play it together, but a little slower. 1, 2, 3, 4. So remember, when you play this groove, you should be subdividing internally eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So if I count eighth notes and play it out loud, that would be great. The last thing we want to do is add in the hi-hats, and the hi-hat part is playing eighth notes. So just as we counted out loud eighth notes, we could just simply add our right hand on the hi-hat. Voila, we have the groove. Here we go. I'll play it first, then we'll do it together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's try playing it together. A little slower. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Have fun.